Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Newsgram. Oh, hold on a minute. I do enjoy the Newsgram theme, but we're going to have to come up with something a little bit different today. We need more intrigue, something with some suspense. There we go. Let's go with that one. A highly contagious and lethal infection has just broken out. The hospital staff is in a panic. Where did it come from? How did this happen? Who is responsible and how can we contain it? How many people are even at risk here? Sounds like true life. But this virus is fictional. More on that in a minute. First, let me ask you this. What do you do when you complete all the necessary steps to become a nephrologist? Do you even know what a nephrologist is? It's a kidney doctor. And if you're Dr. Dennis Ross, you write fiction novels.
But it was just something that was on my bucket list.
True, and a bit of an oversimplification. Dr. Ross is also a clinical professor with the University of Kansas Medical Center in Wichita, and he has published extensively in scientific journals. But it was his novels that drew my attention, because reading a scientific novel is not something most of us are likely to do. So how does a kidney doctor become a novelist? Telling a page-turning story is a lot different than writing articles in a scientific journal.
Actually, I had gone to a writing class in Cape Cod, taught by best-selling authors who were physicians.
Well, that couldn't be more perfect. And they say write about what you know. So the first book is about kidney failure, dialysis, and transplants, and it's called The Perfect Match.
I'm a nephrologist, so I've dealt with a lot of patients with that. And I wanted to educate the public about what people go through if they face the need for dialysis or a transplant. And I thought writing it in a fictional story with lots of twists and turns would encourage them to read the whole book.
The Perfect Match is about a young man who just started college when he was diagnosed with end-stage renal disease, which means he's going to need dialysis immediately and ultimately a new kidney. So he's placed on a transplant waiting list. Without getting too deep into the twists and turns here, this story asks the question, how far would you go to save someone you love?
When I found some success with that, and my patients and others seemed to like it, encouraged me to write the second novel, The Lethal Elixir.
A mystery novel about a what-if pandemic.
This is a story about an outbreak of Ebola in the United States. And the Ebola just occurs out of the blue in a young person who happened to be working in the laboratory in virology. So the immediate thing was a tremendous panic at the hospital saying, oh my gosh, where did he catch this thing? And it turns out he was a loner. He never traveled anywhere. There was no evidence that he had been to Africa or any third world nation where he might have contracted this. So then the search is on to find the source. And this leads to rather panic across the United States as more and more patients develop the infection.
You want me to tell you how it happened? I can't do that. Is it history repeating itself? I mean, we are all too familiar with the impact a viral outbreak can have on our society. One thing I can tell you is that the Ebola was a weapons-grade strain, and the FBI get in on this one.
There's a lot of romance and love story in this novel as well. The FBI agent falls in love with the infectious disease doctor, and they're the main characters trying to track down the perpetrators.
So there's a bit of romance in this one as well. Intrigue and romance. And to find out more, you should read this one. The Lethal Elixir by Dennis Ross is available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and we even put a direct link in the show notes for you so you can just go right there. And that will do it for another healthy dose of Newsgram from webtalkradio.com.